Hey guys, He's here back with another Litecoin video. So Litecoin currently sitting at 72.3. It's been in a huge downtrend since October, like since the crash when Bitcoin crashed and the alt market just basically got scammed and everything went down. We actually haven't been this low at 72 apart from October with that wick. We haven't been this low since April. And then before that, it was back in October, November of 24. So it's been a while. This is kind of a level that we've kind of just been hitting over and over again. I mean, since 2022, or I mean, even before that, but I'm going to really be talking about since the 2022 bear market. So it's not a level that we haven't seen. But I think what's really interesting about Litecoin, and this video isn't to like shill Litecoin on anyone or like make you buy Litecoin. These are just my opinions on it and the reasons why I actually hold Litecoin still, even though, I mean, this is the weekly chart, so Litecoin kind of hasn't really done anything since 2017, literally. It's basically gone sideways. I mean, you could have still made huge, I mean, these are big swings though, right? Like, I mean, the COVID crash, the top in 2021 was still 15,000, no, 1,500%. So this is a 16x. So you turned 1K to 16K off this move. So I mean the moves were still there. I mean even just from last April to the high that we had, this was still like a 112% move. I mean 112 in about 17 weeks is insane, right? You're more than doubling your money in, a couple months. So those swings have been pretty big still, but overall it's been sideways. And I think that to me, the reason why I hold Litecoin is because I think that it's one of the few coins that will last. Because I think crypto is going through this phase right now where there's just so many coins and there's so many scams, and I think people are just not that dumb anymore, Like it's been a long time. And I don't really think people are falling too much for this. I mean, people are still falling for it, but I hope by now most people aren't. And I think that at some point, crypto will get to the point where the only things that actually are still alive and around are coins that have use cases and actually will be used. And I think Litecoin will end up being a coin that has a use case and is used. But the thing is, this is still just like kind of a gamble. If you really think about it, like not just crypto in general, like stocks as a whole, right? Like for example, look at silver right now. This is silver. Like this is an insane chart. Like anything in stocks, even just in general, like trading as a whole, is still just kind of a gamble when you really like unwrap all the layers. But the thing is, I do think that it's a gamble with like some sort of edge. Like when you like really gamble, like if you're playing slots, like that's straight up gambling. But I think trading and like the stock market and everything, it's still kind of a gamble, but there are ways you can have an edge and actually make money. And I think that to me, Litecoin is still a gamble because the only coin that's not a gamble for me is Bitcoin. I really think you cannot go wrong with just buying Bitcoin because it will go up over time. But the thing about Litecoin that's also really interesting is it is still going up so far, right? Like when we look at this chart, I know like it is kind of sideways, but at the same time, it's like slightly up sideways, right? Like it's still kind of going up. So I don't know how this chart's going to play out. It kind of looks like there is a chance because I still think Bitcoin is going to go down. That this structure, this nice like higher low type thing, maybe gets breached. Like it actually could, but so far it hasn't. And it still is generally trending up. So yeah, like you're not really making money, but as long as you're not like buying it at like a terrible time, like at these peaks here, if you're just accumulating every time it comes down around here, Worst case scenario, I honestly think you break even. Like maybe you lose a little bit, but I don't even think you're gonna get completely scammed and go down like 99%. So I think there is a slight sense of security. Like there is no security, but it is still slowly trending up. It's still Litecoin, and I think that we will get to a point where people start using Litecoin. So Litecoin is already the number one, or at least most of the times, because sometimes people use other coins, but a lot of the times when I look at like these data, like data and charts and stuff about Litecoin and the usage of it, it's actually typically very high. Like people actually do use Litecoin. If I pull up let me actually pull up Litecoin transactions chart, and you can see here. So I'll open the Bitcoin one and then just add Litecoin on top of it. So these are this is their transactions historical chart. So historically the transaction. So let's make this log. And you can see, Litecoin is orange and Bitcoin is blue. Litecoin's transaction adoption has been going up, right? Like Bitcoin is still, ahead of it. According to this right now, at least a couple days ago, Bitcoin had 411,000 transactions and Litecoin had 182. So it had like a little bit less than half. So we're saying Litecoin has a little bit less than half the number of Bitcoin transactions, and Bitcoin's market cap, if we bring up the market cap of Litecoin, Bitcoin's market cap is 2 trillion and Litecoin's market cap is 5.5 billion. And it has just half of the number of transactions. So the number of people using Litecoin is crazy. There's actually companies that are starting to create a Litecoin reserve, like similarly to how Bitcoin has, like, how companies are buying Bitcoin and adding it to their sheet and like just like buying it to, because everyone's speculating that's going to go up and everything. But there are companies that have started doing that for Litecoin. Like there are Litecoin treasuries. Like if we go on Twitter, you can see there's a couple. I think let me just search up Litecoin. But there are a couple of these companies. I should have pulled this up earlier. I can't remember what the company name is, but I think this is one. Light Strategy is one. Yeah, the world's largest Litecoin treasury company. It has a ticker on the NASDAQ as well, as you can see. And there's like a couple more of these. So I think that the adoption of Litecoin is increasing. And when I really look at this chart, when I really look at it, and I'm just like, okay, I know everything is a gamble, but I think the edge when I look at this is that there's a more of a chance that this breaks to the upside than it does to the downside. And so I what I think, and I did make this power model, and so this is also something I'll be looking at. But what I think actually might be very likely is potentially a triple top here. So first of all, like you can kind of see this blue line is the power model, and every other line is one standard deviation plus or minus. And so I think that you can see here, back in 2013, we hit the top. This was 6 standard deviations away from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the next time we hit this line, right? But this line was only 5 standard deviations. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the cycle after that, we hit the 4th standard deviation. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So then whenever we actually get the push up finally, because I think eventually it will happen, I think we will go to the 3rd standard deviation, which would actually put it at a triple top at around 400 right here. This would be the 3rd line right here from the power model. And so I think, something I'm looking for is to come here eventually. I don't know how long this is going to take. Honestly, it could take another few years. Like this literally could grind on the bottom for like another 2 years, right? Like it's like if this cycle is over, we're getting no alt season and we have to wait for the next cycle, and Litecoin literally just does this for like another like 2.5 years, and then we finally get the move up like this in like 2029 or something. Like this could happen. Like I'm fully prepared for this scenario. Like I'm not trading Litecoin. I'm simply just buying it and holding it, and then I'm just gonna dump it when I think it's finally time to dump. Um, but yeah, guys, that's really it's already 10 minutes long. I don't want to make this super long, but I guess the main idea is. Oh, I have to actually show you XRP. I mean, we've talked about this before, but you can kind of see how XRP is similar, had these lower highs, kind of like this top up here, and then it broke up, and now it's just chilling at the top. Like it's basically staying at the highs of these two peaks after having a similar structure to Litecoin and then breaking up. And so I've seen not just on Litecoin's chart, like or not just Litecoin and XRP, but I've seen this pattern on multiple charts, and they all break up. All of them have broken up, and so I think Litecoin will also follow that because it's just patterns. And I think that there are fundamentals that make Litecoin a type of coin that will last in crypto. And a lot of the times when you see like Bitcoin on the news on like Fox or whatever, I forgot what channel it is, but like on the news or in, um, like you see the like non-crypto news and stuff, like traditional stuff, you will see Litecoin or you will see Bitcoin, Ethereum. Sometimes they put in Solana, sometimes they put in XRP, but they almost always have Litecoin there too. Like Litecoin, I think will always be there. And I think just being a coin that will always be there and will last is in crypto a type of safety. And you got to realize when I say safety in crypto, like I'm saying that with quotations around it because it is still risky. But that's what I mean by when I'm saying this is kind of a gamble. I don't know which way this breaks. I don't know how long it goes on for where it's not really doing anything. I simply think that eventually it will break out of this. You can actually see, let me draw the chart or the triangle. You can basically kind of see it's kind of doing something like this, right? Like it's grinding the bottom, and then it basically just has like this top up here. And I think that eventually, I don't even, it could take a long, like much longer. I don't know when it'll do it. I think eventually it will come back up to around 400 and it'll actually break up, maybe come back down, test it again, and then like go up towards 1,000, a couple, maybe like 1,000 or 2,000. Like my model would say like 2,000 if you looked at the power model. So you can see right here, we made it to the sixth top, like the top at the sixth standard deviation again, that'd be actually at $2,000. So I don't really know if 2,000 is going to happen anytime soon. I think there's a chance that eventually it does happen. But I do really think like 400 is probably going to happen at some point, like 300 to 400. Um, and it's just a gamble, but I think that the odds are like it's worth the gamble because, like I said, if we're wrong about this and Litecoin literally just goes sideways like this, we're not really risking something like I don't even know. Let's take a look at like I don't even know ADA for example. Like ADA, it's been doing really bad, but it is actually kind of it's not even doing the higher structure like low thing, right? Like this was like basically the same here at this point. It kind of like double bottom, slightly higher, but actually we can maybe say it is, but um I'm not confident in ADA that ADA will constantly go up like this, right? Because the chart's not really giving that to me. The fundamentals, what ADA even does, doesn't really like sell that to me. You got to realize Litecoin is literally Bitcoin. It's basically Bitcoin, but it's slightly tweaked, right? And it's tweaked in a way to, I think part of it was to make mining a bit less expensive. It was tweaked in a way to increase the transaction blocks and like speed up the transaction blocks. So it does like 4 times as many transactions, 4 times as much supply. So, and a lot of development before it goes on to Bitcoin, it actually gets developed on Litecoin. And then there's just like Litecoin has a lot of people in the scenes working to improve on it and to get it to actually be used more and pick up adoption. So I think there's a lot going on for Litecoin. It also a lot of people hate Litecoin too, which is something that kind of like, as someone who holds a coin and thinks it's going to go up, obviously, like, you don't want to see that. But that's just how everything is, really, when you think about it. Like, I'm sure Bitcoin was like that too back in the early days, like 08, 09, 2010, even probably even like to 2012 or something. I don't even know. But, people will hate on it until the price moves. So, in my opinion, everyone's going to hate Litecoin. As long as Litecoin keeps doing this, like how I drew it, they're going to hate on it. If Litecoin does something like this, they're going to start loving it. If Litecoin like starts going parabolic, like it's going to be people will literally probably call it like Bitcoin too, and it will like literally go parabolic for like a while probably, if it like ever gets that narrative. But yeah, I think that's, basically why I hold Litecoin and why I like it. And kind of the gamble that I'm taking. I think there's more than a 50% chance that it goes up. So the odds are in our favor, and that's what we need. When you're gambling, you can only take the odds. So anyways, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.